On this video, we have a Milwaukee model number 6477-20. This is a 7 1/4 worm drive saw. This is corded, 15 amp, 4400 RPM. This is a beast of a saw. I've been hunting down one of these for quite some time now. For the past few months, I've been constantly looking around eBay, Marketplace, hoping to find pretty much a brand new model. They stopped making these a few years ago, so finding a brand new one is a lot harder now recently. But I'm so glad I found this one. Even the box looks like it's in great shape. Here's a look around of the box. That's the top. Let's look at some of these specs on the box. 15 amp, 4400 RPMs, comfortable rear handle. This is one of the features that I like about this saw. It's got an oil sight glass with tool-free oil replacement. You can pretty much see the oil level through like a window on the side of the gearbox. Rafter hook. Another feature that I like about this saw, it's got a lightweight composite shoe. It doesn't have your typical magnesium shoe like your skill saws would, or say like a flat aluminum shoe. This has it's pretty much a plastic shoe. It looks very durable also. It comes with a blade, 12-foot power cord, lightweight magnesium construction, so it still has it's still built with magnesium. I would assume pretty much the motor body, the body of the saw, upper guard and the lower guard is magnesium. It bevels up to 51.5 degrees. It's got a preset D10 at 45 degree, and it's got high vis, cut depth and bevel angle. Let's take a look at the saw. Let's take a quick look at the saw. Overall, I really like the design of this saw. Very, very well built. Quite heavy too. I think the weight of it is around 14 pounds, so it's not as lightweight as your latest and greatest skill saw magnesium. I think that one weighs around 11 pounds if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, right off the bat, real nice looking saw. Here you could see the composite shoe. You can tell it's got a lot of glass fiber inside it for strength. You see markings right here. UP-GF55. Rafter hook with either stores all the way this way. That's a detent there. That's the oil sight glass that I was referring to. You're able to easily see the oil level, the color of the oil. Really takes the guesswork out of it, and there should be no excuse of why you're running the saw without any oil. The blade change tool is stored under here. They use an Allen key. Nice size too, nice length. Stores under the saw here, nicely tight. The handle does not have any angle to it like some worm drives would, making this more usable to either you're going to use it with your right hand or you're going to use it with your left hand. Makes it equally comfortable. To fill it with oil and to drain it, here's pretty much the fill plug. It's plastic top with a metal. It's got a gasket on it, O-ring. That's where you would fill it. You could even take a peek at the worm gear right there. far as for the handle, it's got a nice, definitely a nice handle. Good rubber, real thick rubber. One thing I like also is on the trigger, there's like a rubbery surface right on the trigger, adding comfort. For the depth of cut, I like how they got this plastic right on the lever. Real smooth action. Depth is easy to see with the arrow. And you're able to, whatever you want to cut, whatever depth you want to cut. The bevel action also has that same plastic. The numbers are a little tricky to see. The numbers are printed, so you have to kind of, I mean, I guess it's on your line of sight right there, but the bevel has got a nice smooth action also. Detent's at 45. To get more than that, you would have to press this. You gotta press this, releases, and then it gets you at 51.5. And to return it back, it's automatic. It does include the fence nut there, so you could add a fence to it. I know some saws don't come with this nut here that secures the fence, the rip fence. This one does. As far as for cooling, airflow, it's got nice decent openings here to allow air to go in past the motor, cool the motor, and the air exits on this side here, allowing to cool the gearbox. And also, if you could see this plastic shroud here, it does, just by looking at it, you could tell it's gonna divert the air towards this direction, blowing sawdust out of your line of sight. And also, as the air makes it through here, it's gonna cool the gearbox. I'll remove this shroud to get a better look at the gearbox. It's got 4 screws to remove. In order to remove the shroud, you got to remove the rafter hook, removing these 2, and then you remove these 2. The handle comes off, plastic handle. Save this washer. You also have to remove the fill plug. Then the shroud comes off. Just put the fill plug back in there before I lose it. Like so. You can have a clearer look at the motor housing. You can see how it's got cooling fins. And then you can see where the air exits. It's got a plastic fan. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I know the skill saws all have metal fans, but you can tell it's got plenty of airflow coming out of that for cooling. This will get cooled directly. You can tell towards the bottom also, air is going to push out of there, cooling directly right at that spindle. Here's that's the spindle lock, the blade lock. That's what you would push to change the blade. Yeah, overall, very, very well made saw. Let's remove this blade nut. saw has something I haven't seen in other saws, where it has this kind of like a spring washer, just to further make sure this doesn't get loose. Let's remove the blade. We can further see it's got additional openings here to keep this area also cool, and also allows air to kind of blow away the sawdust. If you look at the diamond arbor, further see vents at the bottom there for airflow. One thing I noticed about this saw that I'm not too happy about is just the amount of play that the lower guard has. Too much play. Also here at the hub that secures the spindle and the bearings inside, you know, it's also composite. On other heavy duty saws I've seen that this is metal, but it's a lot thinner though metal. It's a very thick composite, so I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. Like I said, this area here is composite also. Here's another look at the saw with this newer style blade. I think this blade fits this saw a lot better. These blades came out on the pretty much on the first generation Milwaukee M18 fuel rear handle 7 1/4 saws. And if you can notice, it's got a little picture of a worm drive, right? And if you look closely, the saw that's on the picture is this saw itself. You know, I think that's pretty cool how Milwaukee did that. Even on the newer blades, the generation blades that came out after this one, they also include that picture. And if you look at that picture of the saw right there, it's this saw. It's a silhouette of this saw, which I think is pretty cool. But yeah, overall, this is, I will say, my favorite worm drive saw that I own. I was very happy to be able to find a brand new example of it. I don't plan on using this one, to be honest with you. I'm probably just gonna have it on display or something, just for eye candy around the shop, you know. If I do happen to find another, say like a used example or something, I'll probably also buy that one and use that one. But I mostly use my M18 fuel cordless one. It's just, you know, all the cordless stuff's just a lot more convenient. Yeah, here's another look at that. The handle is all plastic, but if you could tell inside of there, it's still metal. So the whole saw body is made out of metal, right? Probably magnesium. And just the handle is plastic. And here we could see the worm drive next to the newer cordless fuel rear handle saws. You can see how much wider this new generation of saws are. Essentially, these are not worm drives. These are pretty much just like a sidewinder, but nowadays they're able to make the motors a lot smaller. But this worm drive saw, it's still a bit more narrow. The only thing that makes it a little bit wider is the rafter hook here. On this one, the rafter hook is more recessed from the motor housing, pretty much flush. This one sticks out a little bit, but a lot more narrow when it comes to the worm drives. A lot more heavier though, but you just can't beat the build quality of these saws. But I mean, they still have their place. They still have their place in the job site. So yeah, that was just a quick look of this saw. I know these have been getting real hard to find lately, especially brand new. A lot of the ones I seen around while I was trying to look for a brand new one was I seen a lot of used ones, and they're still up there in price. You know, it depends on who's selling it, but yeah, you're still able to find these. Kind of nice to see a brand new example. The reason why I made this video, so you guys can get a up close and look. I haven't seen any videos on YouTube as far as this saw. Most of the videos out there are just of the newer generation cordless saws. But yeah, thanks for watching, and stay tuned. I'll be reviewing other worm drive saws.